If you receive the full new state pension in 2026, you are sitting exactly £22.40 away from a surprise bill from HMRC. Not a mistake, not a rounding error, £22.40. That is the entire distance between you and the moment the taxman quietly decides you owe him money. And here is what should make you sit up straight. This isn't an accident. It is a mathematical trap built slowly over years of frozen thresholds, and it is about to spring shut. Let me show you exactly how it works, because once you see the mechanism, you can't unsee it. Start with the wall. In the UK, everyone gets a tax-free personal allowance. It is the amount you can earn in a year before the government takes a single penny in income tax. Right now, that allowance sits at £12,570. And here is the crucial detail. It is frozen, not rising with inflation, not rising with wages. Frozen, by law, all the way until April 2031. Think about that. For years, the cost of your weekly shop climbs, your energy bills climb, your pension climbs. But the tax-free line does not move. It is a brick wall, standing exactly where it has stood since 2021, and everything around it is rising towards it. Now here is the paradox that catches people completely off guard. The very thing pensioners fought to protect, the triple lock, is the engine driving them straight into that wall. The triple lock guarantees your state pension rises each year by the highest of three numbers: inflation, average earnings growth, or 2.5%. It sounds like a victory, and in one sense it is. This April, earnings growth won, and the full new state pension jumped by 4.8%. That took it to £241.30 a week. Across the full year, that is £12,547.60. Now put the two numbers side by side. The pension pays £12,547.60. The tax-free wall stands at £12,570. Subtract one from the other, and you get that number again, £22.40. So the triple lock, the thing designed to protect you, is now the thing forcing your income upward into a tax bracket that refuses to move. The rise you were promised is the rope pulling you toward the ledge, and the ledge is closer than almost anyone realizes. Follow the maths forward just 1 year. By the 2027 to 2028 tax year, the full state pension is on track to breach the allowance entirely. The tax experts at the Low Incomes Tax Reform Group have said it plainly. They expect the full new state pension to exceed the personal allowance in that year. Let that sink in. For the first time in the history of this country, the basic state pension alone, with no private savings, no second income, nothing else at all, will be enough to make a person a taxpayer. A benefit designed as a floor becomes a trigger. Now, you might be thinking, so what? A few pounds over the line. How much harm can £22.40 really do? Here is the honest answer. The danger isn't the size of the bill. The danger is the margin it eats away. Let me give you a test I call the resilience test. Imagine your car fails its MOT. Not a small thing, a £400 repair to keep it roadworthy, and you need that car to get to the shops and to see your family. Or imagine you wake with a throbbing tooth, and the dentist tells you the crown has to come out, another few £100, and it cannot wait. For most of your working life, a shock like that stung, but you absorbed it. That was the whole point of a lifetime of saving. Margin, breathing room, the quiet confidence that you could take a hit and stay standing. But now picture that same emergency landing on a pension that is being quietly pruned by HMRC. The cushion is thinner. The buffer you spent 40 years building is being trimmed at the edges, a little each year, by a tax you never planned for. Suddenly, a car repair or a dental crown isn't an inconvenience. It is a financial heart attack, and you lack the very margin you worked 4 decades to earn. That is what the trap really steals. Not just pounds, resilience. And here is the most alarming part of all. Most people have no idea any of this is coming. Research from Royal London found that 41% of British adults do not realise the state pension is taxable at all. 4 in 10. They hear the phrase tax-free and assume it means the benefit itself is untouchable. But it doesn't mean that. The state pension has always counted as taxable income. The reason so many people are confused is simple. It is paid to you without any tax taken off. So people see it arrive whole, untouched, and they assume it must be tax-free. That assumption is about to cost a great many households a very unpleasant shock. Because when your income crosses that line, HMRC still wants its cut. And the way they come to collect it is the part nobody warns you about. Your employer, back when you worked, took tax at source through the payroll, neat, invisible, done before the money ever reached you. But the DWP does not do that with your state pension. There is no pay as you earn on it. So HMRC uses a different method entirely. They send you a letter. It is called a simple assessment. Picture the scene. It is the start of the month, a quiet morning. You collect the post, and there among the leaflets is a brown envelope with a government stamp. You open it, and inside is a demand for £300, tax owed, payable to HMRC. £300 you do not have set aside. £300 that, as far as you were concerned, was already spent on groceries, on the gas, on the small ordinary business of getting through the month. The government hasn't warned you. It has simply calculated, decided, and posted the goalposts to a new spot on the field. That letter, on that quiet morning, is the moment the trap closes. And it doesn't only fall on people with large savings. In fact, one of the cruelest twists lands on the people with the smallest pots of all. Consider a retiree with a tiny private pension, maybe a workplace scheme from decades ago paying just £3,000 a year on top of the state pension, a modest top-up. The kind of sensible, careful saving we are all told to do. Here is where it gets genuinely unfair. After the last budget, a pensioner receiving only the basic state pension with nothing else may be spared the simple assessment altogether. But the moment you add that little private pension into the mix, the rules change. Your combined income sits above the line, and HMRC will now adjust the tax code on that small private pot to claw back everything owed, including the tax generated by your state pension. Sit with the injustice of that for a second. Two pensioners, side by side, with the very same total income, one receives it all as a state pension and escapes the taxman. The other, who did the responsible thing and built a small private pension, becomes a taxpayer and watches their modest pot get taxed at source to settle a debt created by a benefit they were told was theirs. The saver is punished. The one who saved nothing extra walks free. That is the machine we are living inside. So where does that leave you? It leaves you understanding something the triple lock headlines will never tell you. Wealth in the UK is no longer just about what the government hands you. That number, the one on the DWP letter, is only half the story. The half that matters now is what you are legally allowed to keep. That is where the real planning lives. It is knowing whether to draw from a private pension or from tax-sheltered savings first. It is understanding how a drawdown decision, or the tax-free wrapper of an ISA, or the way you time your withdrawals from a SIP can keep more of your money in your pocket and out of that brown envelope. It is planning for the hidden taxman before he ever knocks on your door, rather than after. Because true freedom in retirement was never about the size of the check. It is about certainty. It is about looking at a surprise car repair or a painful trip to the dentist and knowing your margin is intact because you saw the trap coming and you built around it. The wall isn't moving, the triple lock keeps pushing, and the line you are standing on is £22.40 away. The question is no longer whether the taxman is coming for the state pension. He is. The only question that matters now is whether he finds you ready. If you learned something from this video, like and subscribe. See you in the next one.